Everyone, and welcome to Mama Me Unfiltered, the podcast where we keep it real, raw, and relatable. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Zuni, and we're here to share unfiltered conversations about life, love, family, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits, from generational differences to parenting perspectives. We're diving deep, we're laughing loud, and we're learning as we go.
So let's grab a cup of coffee, let's get comfy, and let's get into today's episode.
Today's episode, we will be discussing Cheap Ex-Boyfriends Part 2, or we could consider it as Cheap Baby Daddies. Let's talk about it. So while we talk about it, we're also going to be baking cookies. So we're trying something new, and we're going to be baking some cutout cookies. But before we do that, we need to prep our baking sheet. And we have to preheat our oven, which we are doing.
I was about to say we need scissors, but
No,
I forgot this is a...
Yeah, this can cut itself, which is great. So we're going to... while I'm doing this, you can be opening the cookies, You can do something. So as we prep, we're also going to discuss this situation with the cheap ex-boyfriends or ex-baby daddies, which, I have had a few of those. But I think it's worse to have a cheap baby daddy or father of your children, or as they call them nowadays, deadbeat dads. But we can call it that too, deadbeat dads.
Yeah, deadbeat dad.
And in honor of Father's Day.
It's Father's Day today?
Today is Father's Day, and we can just
Shout out to all the dads.
To
all the good dads.
To all the good dads, yes. So all the good dads and the dads that are not deadbeats and that they're out there taking care of their children. Definitely happy Father's Day to them. And now our cookies are open. Thank you very much.
Yes, welcome.
So, this is what they look like, and we're gonna
they're egg-shaped because here's the cookie.
Yes. So we're going to put them on the sheet. I'm gonna spread them out, and we're gonna bake them. How long do we have to bake these things for?
9 to 11 minutes.
9 to 11 minutes. I think we should go 11 minutes because sometimes I don't think 9 minutes usually is enough.
No.
I think that's just like a roundabout number. But, we have the cookies on the sheet, and now we're going to pop them into the oven. I guess I'll do the honors.
Will you?
I'll do the honors to pop them in the oven. And, of course, we have to set the timer for 11 minutes, and we'll see. We'll pop the cookies out when they're ready. So these deadbeat dads and cheap ex-boyfriends, it's quite a shame that exists, that men do not take accountability for the children that they create and they bring into this life.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's sad that you would have to force a man to want to take care of his children, or force him to take care of his children. And I don't think that there's a mother out there that would just come out and say that their children's father is not doing what he should be doing and not taking care of his children if he is.
Yeah, because most mothers are like, my baby daddy's like this or that, like saying good things about them, but there are some that don't have that experience where their baby daddy is attentive and takes care of the children as well as her.
Right. Because, of course, for us, it's always story time. We always have stories. We always um, have a story to tell about any topic
Mm-hmm.
that we bring about. And, your brother and your sister had a different father,
Mm-hmm.
and you had your separate father. And the differences between the two are, you know, big because when your father came into the picture, he took the role of provider. He took the
Yeah.
role of whatever was needed for the household. He took the role of, I'm taking care of the bills. I'm giving you a weekly allowance. I'm going to make sure
I
that,
didn't even know he gave you weekly allowance.
yeah, so at least with your father financially, we were taken care of, but emotionally, we were not. So your father was not
He was,
a cheap ex baby daddy or cheap ex. Your
yeah,
your father was totally different, and I
yeah,
would never sit here and say something negative about someone or say something about someone that isn't true.
yeah,
And I don't think that it's the correct thing to do to maliciously say something negative
yeah.
about someone that's not true just to make them look bad or to make um someone like you more or to make someone believe you.
True.
I think that that's wrong. And, maybe some people do that. Maybe some women do that and
Yeah,
say that the father of their children isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing, and they are,
yeah.
you
I've
know?
seen situations like that where the mother embellishes
Embellishes the
the
truth.
truth of what the baby daddy was doing rather than telling the actual truth where they had like slight only negative things that they did, but it wasn't all, how do you say it? It wasn't a lot like they're implying.
Right. So I'm not the type of person that likes to make things up. I'm not the type of person that I'm going to put information out to anyone to state that someone didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
If someone did good or bad, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it truthfully, and I'm not going to add anything extra. I'm not going to put anything out there that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Yeah.
think that it's wrong. You're making someone else look bad
Yeah, you
because you want to lie or because you want to.
demonizing.
Right,
Demonizing.
right.
That's the word that I've been looking for.
Thank you.
Demonizing.
Okay, well, I'm not here to demonize anyone, but I will tell the truth about what I experienced. And this is
Yeah.
something that I experienced, and no one can take that from me because I lived it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, your father did what he had to do when he came into the picture. Your sister and your brother were about 5 and 6 years old when your father came into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Their father was not providing for them. Their father did not provide for them until I had to forcefully make him take care of them. And the way you forcefully make someone take care of their children is by taking them to child support
Yeah.
because there's no other way of getting someone to take responsibility for their children.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been the type that I had given him chances after chances after chances to make it right and to provide something for his children. Like
Yeah.
when your sister was first born, I was staying with your grandmother, my mom, for a few days because their dad and I had a fight. So I was staying with my mom. I had called him to bring diapers for your sister.
Yeah.
He showed up 2 days later. Your sister was in need of diapers, and my stepfather had to go out and purchase diapers because her father didn't show up till 2 days later
Oh, nah.
with diapers. And then instead of bringing a big pack of diapers, he bought a small pack of diapers for her.
Does he not know babies?
Babies explode
Yeah.
constantly. Babies are constantly needing of change. If not, they get diaper rash and they need to be properly taken care of, especially their skin. So when their diapers are soiled for too long, it affects their skin.
Yeah.
So at least at that time, my stepfather stepped in and he purchased some diapers so that I didn't go without until her father showed up with the diapers.
That was nice of him.
Right. So time after that, I started living here.
Yeah.
You still were not born, of course.
Of course.
We were living here.
98, baby.
And even though he was staying here, like I wouldn't consider he was living here. I would consider he was staying here. So it was like kind of we were like still together, but
drifting.
not. It was like it was like
was
one
a
of those
drifter.
weird situations where they're like we're together, we're not sure, but you're here. He wasn't paying for any of the bills here. He wasn't providing anything for your sister, your brother. And it's a shame that although he was here in the household with the kids, he still wasn't doing anything for them. I would have to go to doctor's appointments and he would never say, here's $20 or here's $10 so you could get on the bus and get back and forth and feed the kids. That never came out of his mouth. That never happened. And even after we broke up, I would ask him for money for the kids, and he would say next week. And then next week will come, and I would ask him again, hey, like you said, next week, can I have money for the kids? He would say again, next week, I got you next week. Next week became next week, and every time it was next week, so I got tired. By the time I got tired, your sister was already 10 years old.
That makes me thankful for my father.
Because he was a provider, at least.
Yeah, because anytime you asked him for money and needed extra, he would always at least talk it out with you and then send you the amount that you agreed on.
I don't really recall your dad giving me extras.
Well,
like if you needed something and you asked him for it, yes, he gave it to you.
yeah.
But as far as giving me anything extra, he never did. And the crazy part about that was, yes, your dad was a good provider when he was with me, but once I broke up with him, what he said to me was, if you gave your ex 10 years and you gave him that, why can't you do the same for me? So why do you taking me to child support? Why do you want money now when you gave the other one a break for 10 years? And I told him I didn't give the other one a break for 10 years. The other one just didn't want to pay, and I got fed up.
I want to slap my dad. I want to slap my dad for that.
So, in a way, he was cookies, but in a way, he was a good provider once you're with him. But once you're not with your dad,
I got this.
He became spiteful, and he did not want to provide after that. Do you think they're done?
I think they're done.
You sure?
Oh, wait.
I think they need a little, maybe a minute or two. I don't think that they're quite done. They still look a little pale.
Yeah, they don't have that goldenness around the cookie.
Right, they look a little pale to me. They look okay, but they look kind of a little pale. So maybe a minute or two would be good.
Yeah, let's leave them
Maybe a minute or two. So hopefully we don't forget while we talk.
Yeah.
So your dad is the type of person that he provides while he's happy and he's with you. If you break up with him, he no longer wants to provide, and he's that guy that he's like, no, well, I'm not going to do it. And if you let the other one get away with it, I can get away with it too.
Yeah, that's very spiteful.
Right. And that's not a good mentality to have, because regardless, you're his child, and He helped create you, so he should be providing for you. He should be giving you the things that you need.
Yeah, and he made the decision to keep me.
Right.
Oh,
So your brother and your sister's dad didn't start paying child support until your sister was 10. Yet it's come to my knowledge now that that side of the family, along with her father, has been telling her and feeding her lies all this time that he was basically providing for her and for them, that he was buying them clothing, and that he purchased a car bed for them that I purchased for them. So the story goes, I have a cousin that I went to visit, and her daughter had a car bed, and she told me where she bought it. And she purchased it near where I used to live, where I used to hang out because my mom still lived on the east side. So she told me where I could find one.
mhm.
I liked it because I didn't like the beds that your brother and your sister had at the time, and I wanted them to have new beds. And at the time, I could afford to purchase it for them. So I looked into it
Yeah.
and I found the beds. And they were a little big, but I really liked them, and they were expensive at the time. They were $500 each bed.
Yep.
And I'm like, this wasn't wood. This was like a plastic bed. It wasn't all made of plastic. It was like some parts were durable. But, you know, at that point in time in the 90s, in the early 90s, to pay $500 for a bed just because it's like a little Jeep, it was cute. One was pink, one was blue. So I purchased it at the store that I found. It wasn't exactly the same bed that my cousin's daughter had because I didn't want the same bed. I wanted something different for your brother and your sister. Which now I'll check on the cookies again
Because we forgot.
because now they should be just about,
They
they're
good?
browning on the bottom and not on the top, so they kind of look good.
Oh my.
They look like they could be ready. Well, they are ready, so we're just gonna put them here to cool for a little bit while we continue our conversation, and then we'll let the cookies cool down, and we'll have a cookie.
Yep.
I say we have a cookie.
Okay.
So I purchased these beds. I had them delivered because, of course, like I wasn't able to carry,
Of course,
these
you were
beds.
skinny mini.
And I was thinner at the time. So, there was no way of me getting the beds home. So I had to have them delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had them put it together. Because, of course, at that time, I didn't know anything about putting furniture together, about putting anything together. So I paid extra
Mm-hmm.
for them to deliver it. And I paid extra for them to put the beds together. So come to find out now, after all these years, that their father was taking credit for those car beds. That their father was telling them and telling the whole family that he paid for those car beds.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
That song.
Yes, I know,
Why
you're lying.
You're lying. Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop your fucking lying.
So yes, so he apparently has been telling your sister and your brother that he purchased the car beds, that he was purchasing clothes for them, and that he's been providing for them. Yet I'm over here struggling to take care of them. I'm the one who purchased these car beds. I would take them to their appointments on my money, and I wouldn't eat when I would take them to their appointments because I would have to feed them. Because whatever money I had was to make sure that they were okay, because little kids don't understand why you can't feed them. Little kids don't understand that you don't have money. So you have to make sure that you either carry snacks or you have stuff for them, and you got to make sure you have a little money on your on yourself so that you can give them something to eat if anything happens. And a lot of the times your brother's appointments will go a little bit later because of his eye, that he would need to see two separate doctors on one specific day, and the appointment would go later, so I would have to take
Yeah, I
whatever
remember.
money
I
from my
remember.
pocket and feed make sure that they both ate, and
Yeah,
then I couldn't eat until I got home.
yeah, I remember. I remember that one time we went to the doctor's appointment with you, and that wow, that lasted for like a few hours.
Yeah, his appointments were long.
So it was like, yeah, you had to bring
Right,
because.
because he had to see a specialist because of his eye. So it was, he would see the doctor, and then if the doctor wanted him to see a specialist, we would have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
So on those occasions, like I said, I would just have the money I had in my pocket. Their father never said, "Oh, you're going to a doctor's appointment. Here's some money so you can make sure you feed them." That never happened. And, you know, his remarks to me at times would be like, "Oh, I know you don't need any money because you're good with money." Right, I'm good with money, but it doesn't mean I'm God, that I can stretch money as far as the eyes can see and never need for you to give me any type of money to provide for these kids.
Wow.
So that's the part that really, like,
The illusion that he was living in.
right, they,
The illusion that he was living in. Like,
like,
like you can be good with money, but doesn't mean that you can afford to always give and splurge like that. Like, it's about budgeting, mother trucker.
well, exactly, but that was his kind of thinking. Like, oh, you know how to budget, you're good with money, so I'm sure you're good. But you're never giving me any money. Meanwhile, your dad is giving me a weekly allowance when I'm with him, and your sister's dad is giving me allowance once a year, maybe, if I was lucky. Oh, no, wait, it gets better. And this is kind of cringy, and it sucks that I have to say this, but while he was here and he wouldn't freely give me money, the only way he would give me money is if I charged him for sex. And which is insane, because if you're my partner, you should be giving me money. I shouldn't have to charge you for sex. That makes me
You
feel
shouldn't have to sell yourself
right.
if you're partners.
Right. So why am I charging you for being intimate with you because you're not freely giving me money? So anything I did was because
It was
I'm
all
not
transactional to him. It's all
right.
transactional. You, in order to get anything from him, you have to do something for him, and apparently that was using your body, and that's not something that he should have been doing, because any good partner, any good parent would want to freely provide for their family.
Right, because whatever money I was getting, I'm not blowing it. I didn't have any vices. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't have any bad habits. I didn't have any habits whatsoever. So, whatever money I was getting was to provide for the household. Whatever money I was getting was to provide for the kids or to buy them something. Or if I had a little extra, I can buy something for myself. And when you're thinking about your children first, you don't always have the option to buy something for yourself.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, the fact that he took advantage of that situation, and of the way that I wasn't one to fight, and I wasn't one to like cause a scene and cause, ruckus just because.
Yeah, you were like me. Like, you didn't like to fight.
Right, it's not,
You
I'm
didn't like
not,
confrontation.
right, I'm not gonna fight you if you're not gonna give me money. It's like, if I have to tell you that, you have to pay me if we're gonna be intimate, then if that's the only way I can get money out of you, then that's what I'm gonna do. Because you should automatically be giving me something for your kids.
Yep.
And kids grow. So kids grow out of shoes, kids grow out of clothing.
Boy, do they do that.
Kids have needs, and especially when they're growing, they want to eat more. The kids want things, and if you don't have the money,
Yeah.
you can't buy them things because you don't have the money, because your partner's not providing.
Mm-hmm.
So your kids have to go without, and you constantly have to tell your children no.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't that type of mother that I was going to sit by and not provide for them myself. So I
Yeah.
did what I had to do as a mother to make sure that my kids
Yeah.
got the things that they needed and every now and then got the things that they wanted, because I didn't think that it was fair for my kids to have to go without.
Yeah. And I remember you discussing with dad about like my dance lessons or any or my singing lessons or any sort of lessons I wanted to go to, and you guys would make a plan for my budget. So I'm like, anything I wanted to do, you guys provided and made sure that I got what I wanted or needed.
Well, the one thing too about your dad was that when you went to get your first pair of glasses, he paid to upgrade your glasses to all these things that he wanted you to have, whether it was the transition
Transitions.
and anything else that you needed for your glasses. He paid for that. And that's one thing that I will always say about your dad. If he wanted you to fly out to Florida, he would pay your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted you to have something extra, he would pay for it. And he knew it wasn't coming to me. He knew it was going to you.
Yeah.
So anything he knew that was going to you, he was more than happy to pay for. But your brother and your sister's father is over here taking all this credit that he did all of these things while they were young when he didn't. He started to like give your sister and your brother money and do things for them personally when they got old enough to understand. Because even then, he never put money in my hands for anything for them. Their birthday parties and everything, their graduations,
Yeah,
all
no,
of that stuff, I paid for
I
it.
know. I remember. I remember you going to the store to pick up cake and going out to the stores to get party decorations or like goodie bags so that you could set them up for after the party. I remember all that.
Right, but these are things that he never paid for, yet he's taking the credit or stating that he did all of these things. He never paid for any of their birthday parties. I paid for all their birthday parties, all of the ones that I did in the house and all of the ones I did outside of the house. I paid for it. He never paid for them. And then he has his family vouching for him that he did all of these things when he didn't. He has all of his family members or whatever family
Singing
members
his praises.
singing his praises and manipulating my children, telling my children that he did all of these things when he never lifted a finger for these kids. He always put my kids in danger. I had to be the one to try to keep my kids safe, and he was always putting them in danger. Didn't provide for them, but he's stating that he's father of the year and that he provided for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't understand, and it really upset me when your sister is telling me, oh, my dad said that he provided. My dad said that he bought us the car beds and that my aunt confirmed that that was true. No, your aunt cannot confirm that that was true because your aunt did not go with me to buy those car beds. How can your aunt say that your dad paid for them when she wasn't there? And much less, your dad was in jail when I bought the car beds. And I bought the car beds right before I got together with your dad.
Oh yeah, this was around that time that.
Right. And when their father came out of prison, I was already pregnant with you. So how did he pay for those beds?
Hello.
How did he pay for those beds if he was in prison?
I don't know.
And his family members vouching that he did. No, he didn't. And if he did, I would not say that he didn't. If he provided and he did right by his kids, I would not say that he didn't.
I don't know. That's crazy.
And it boils my blood when, you know, your sister defends him and your sister continues to state that he was providing. Oh, and then this is another kicker. She tells me that he used to give money to do my nails. When? When did he give me money to do my nails?
Wait. After you guys like separated, or
no, when we were together, like
I don't
when
see
we
that.
were together, and when they were little, that he used to give me money to go do my nails. That man has never given me money to go do my nails. That man has never taken me out to eat a meal. That man, our first date was with his friend, my brother, and another friend, and he took us to IHOP. That was my first date.
How was that a first date? That's not even a first date.
I wasn't allowed to date alone, so I had to bring people.
You had to bring chaperones.
I had to bring a chaperone, so I wasn't allowed to go alone.
Oh, I don't. Oh.
So, our first date was to go to IHOP. After that, that man never took me out again on another date. And then I went and I did a favor for his aunt. And I made some extra money from doing the favor for his aunt. When I got back to the house, he got upset that I did the favor for his aunt. And then on top of that, he told me to take him out to dinner. With that money.
With the money that you earned.
With the money that I earned, I had to take him out to dinner. And then, because his cousin was driving us, I had to pay for dinner for his cousin as well. Yet, that man had never taken me to City Island to eat. That man had never taken me to a restaurant to go out to eat.
Wait, where's City Island?
Really?
I've never.
Okay, we'll talk about that after. But, so I had to pay for that meal out of the money that I made. Yet still, this man was not providing for me.
I'm right here.
He wasn't doing anything for me, and this was before she was born. This was before your sister was born. I was pregnant with your sister when this happened. Listen, this boils my blood that this man is over here taking credit for shit that he did not do.
Okay, but I'm like right here, so I'm like, you're shouting.
Sorry. I am calm. But I think that it will boil your blood too. If
it would, because
if you're with a partner and this partner is taking credit for things that they didn't do.
Yeah.
And the only other time that I remember either going out to eat with him or to City Island was we went to City Island after a friend of mine from school came back around and we were like hanging out. And it was 4 of us together.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove out to City Island and we ate, but it was only because my friend was there. I don't know if his friend paid or if he paid. I don't know who paid. But I know that was the one and only time I went to a restaurant with him that someone else paid.
Yeah, your exes suck. Because if they not chipping you on the money, they chipping on you on the emotion.
So, you know, it makes me upset that this is the narrative that they're spinning and that he's spinning. And that how long was it going on that my children were being told that he was a provider.
Probably years.
And my kids not knowing that all along I was the one providing. I was the one that was scrimping and saving and scraping and doing whatever I could to provide for them and to make sure they had everything, and that I wasn't getting any help. That I wasn't getting anything. That I was getting constant pushback. So for this person to make themselves seem like they're father of the year really blows my mind. And it's sad because your sister was too young to understand and too young to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like all she can believe is what she's told.
I know.
All that she knows is what she's told, but then she's believing that
my sister is naive and gullible.
Yeah, and she's believing that that's what her reality is and was, and it's not.
Unfortunately, my sister's not very there and mentality of being very headstrong, and is quite easily manipulated.
Right. Because he's telling your sister that, yeah, he paid child support, but that he was giving me money under the table. He never gave me a red cent of any type for anything.
Red cent.
Red cent, penny. Like he never gave me a penny.
You're using a lot of
I know
slang words
terms.
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry. But how was he giving me anything under the table when he started paying child support at the age of 10? And he didn't want to pay child support because your father was already in the picture and your father was providing. So he figured your father would provide for them too. How is that fair? Your father wasn't their father, but yet still your father never treated them like any less. So they had because of your father. They didn't have because of their own father.
That,
So their father is riding on the coattails of your father, making it seem like he was the one providing. When Ashley had that birthday party at the amusement park in Queens, that their father came to the party and their grandmother came and everybody was invited, that was your father. Your father paid for her birthday party and he invited them as a good gesture. As a goodwill gesture, he invited all of them to come. But none of them paid anything for that party. What, is your sister believing that he paid for that birthday party too?
I don't know. But I just know that my father was not should not have had to provide for another man's child,
And he did.
and he did. And as much as I don't talk to my father anymore, and he was good at providing. He was good at making sure that I had everything. And that's one of his good points.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because
Even though he's stingy with freaking other things.
yeah, like I always wanted to protect my kids from a lot of things, especially negativity. And I think that I did more harm than good by protecting them from who their father really was. Because from protecting them from knowing who their father really was, I'm the one that got the short end of the stick. I'm the one that got screwed in the end. I'm the one that's looked down as the bad guy. Yet I was the one that every doctor's appointment, every teacher's conference, everything that happened, I was the one running for my kids. Their father was not there. Even when he was called, he was not there. So for your sister to believe all of this, it's crazy to me because, all kids have memories.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you're young, you still remember a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember who was there and who was really there. And it seems like your sister refuses to remember who was really there. And she's so full of all of the manipulation that was poured into her from her father and your father, which helped to manipulate them. All this negativity that was fed into her, she's believing it. And she doesn't know how to get herself up and dig herself out to find the truth. It's like she's so buried in lies that she doesn't know how to surface up, to find the truth.
Yeah, she's like she's in water with her eyes closed. And she doesn't know which way is up, which way is down, which way is left or right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how you mentioned memory, because remember how we talked about how her memory has been like spotty here and there, and we wondered whether it was grief or not. I don't think it was grief. I think it's just how they recalibrated her mind to remember certain things a certain way, or to forget certain things, because that's what manipulation is. Making someone forget certain things, making certain to twist certain memories a certain way,
and villainize the person that's actually there for them and actually doing all the work, which is crazy.
And I don't think you're a bad mother for wanting to protect your children from negativity, because any good parent would want to protect their children from negativity.
or from harm
Yeah,
or from.
because you don't want to see your child hurt. You don't want to see your child in pain. And that's what any good parent does. They protect. They protect, they nourish, they provide, and they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you were.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Like I don't blame your sister because I know it's all manipulation and it's all of the things that she's been fed throughout the years and all the things that she's been told. It's like she doesn't want to believe the truth about her father. She doesn't want to believe that everything she's been told is a lie.
True. Because I think because she's gone through losing our brother and having to confront the truth about her father, I think that would hurt her even more. And the brain's way of protecting itself is to deny.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna deny everything until she has nothing else but to see the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that that's the direction she's going.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And like you said, her memory is a little spotty because she's remembering things that make no sense to me also. And that I say, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
But
I say that too. Like she said a few things to me that I'm like,
mm-hmm.
what? That's not how it was.
Yeah. No, but what killed me the most is when she said to me, "Oh, my dad financially was always a provider." No, he wasn't. He wasn't, and that's the part that killed me and that's the part that broke me. And you saw
you know,
that broke me because
you know.
it hurt so much to hear that and know that that's so far from the truth. That the suffering that I had to endure because I had to raise them the best that I could with whatever I had because I wasn't getting anything from him. It's a shame
Yeah.
that she believes that I wasn't doing everything I possibly could in my power to make sure that I took care of them and that their father was a deadbeat dad, that he was an absent parent because he wasn't there. He wasn't spending time with them. He wasn't paying for their birthday parties. He wasn't doing anything as far as taking them out and doing things with them. Those were
Mm-hmm.
all things that I did, but yet she seems to forget that that's what happened. These story times are crazy.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, if I could go back and change things, I would make sure that the same way he's a deadbeat dad, I would make sure that they didn't know who he was.
And it's sad that that should be the case because you any parent would want the second parent to be involved. But sometimes you have to protect your children against negative people who would want to hurt them and hurt you.
But I never thought I would be villainized in my, to my children. I never thought I'd be villainized like this
You're my,
and have my children turned against me. Like I thought I was doing the right thing.
you were Michael Jackson.
I thought I was doing the right thing by my kids. I wanted my kids to have their father in their life because I didn't have mine in my life. And whether he was providing or not, I felt that I shouldn't be the one to decide whether my kids know who he is or not, or spend time with him or get to know him because I wanted to know my dad.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that to them. So that's why, regardless to how he behaved or what he did and didn't do. I wanted them to know their father and be around their father.
Yeah.
But I was not given the same courtesy of being that good mother and not being that crazy ex baby mama that's making his life hell, making drama for him and making his life crazy. I was trying to do the right thing and co-parent properly with my children, and I got screwed in the long run. And then this man is painting a picture, and his family's painting a picture that he did everything for them when he did nothing. And like I said, if I could go back in time, I would make sure they didn't know who this man was. Unfortunately, we can't go back in time, so I can't change that fact. But
if I get a time machine, I'm definitely going back.
I think basically the cookies are nice and
I'll take this one.
cold, so we can have a cookie. Did you just smell it?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I like the sugar smell.
Have a cookie.
I like the smell of sugar.
Mm-hmm. The cookie's pretty good.
It's a cookie. Of course it's good.
Okay. Well, I think that I have vented enough about what did happen, what didn't happen, and how this deadbeat remains to be a deadbeat in my mind, regardless to what he's done after. He didn't do for his children. He only started to do for his children when they were old enough to understand and realize what was happening, which is sad. But the people out there that know me know who he is. And they know what he did. Because it wasn't like I never...
Y'all know who the fool is.
Right. It's not like I never voiced this to any of my friends. It's not like I never voiced this to my family members. My family members all know that he did not provide for these kids. My friends know that he did not provide for these kids. And anyone that knows me and knows me around that time, they know that I was the one that provided everything and did everything for my children.
Yep.
So we can have people like,
Yeah.
anybody that wants to shout out there who he is.
Yep.
Go right ahead.
Yep.
We know who the deadbeat. If you know who the deadbeat is, let everybody know who the deadbeat is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've said my piece.
So
and we're gonna leave it there. And we'll see everyone
in the next.
in the next.